Hey guys, let's talk, shall we please, about Venus moving into Taurus. This move takes place on the 14th of April, 2021, and Venus will stay in Taurus until the 8th of May. So let's talk about Venus, right? Venus is the ruling planet of Taurus and Libra. So she is the ruling planet of love and beauty and harmony. She rules relationships and love and finances, resources, tangible and intangible, right? We know about that tangible and intangible energy, right? That is about what you have in your pocket or what you have in your heart. That's about what you have in your bank account or what you have in your soul. So she's looking at all those areas in which we feel our resources, right? What we have and what we have, capital H. All those things, prosperity, wealth, your investment, right? Your investments in your life, your investments in your relationships, your investments in yourself, and your self-esteem, your self-worth. It's all about how we value what we value. And Taurus is that energy of groundedness and stability, of really high endurance. Both of them rule pleasure, right? Tactile pleasure, sensual pleasure. Taurus being the more embodied aspects of Venus, right? Those how we feel through our senses, how we taste and smell and see and hear and touch. So this is indulgent energy, right? At its worst, it can be possessive or clingy, reactive, broody, jealous. But at its best, it can be, sensual, romantic, pleasurable, all about comfort, luxury, right? Relaxation, wealth, finance, the indulgence of your senses, right? The key with Venus and Taurus energy is to really be aware of the possibility of losing the reality in the appearance, right? And that's about getting lost in the sensory experience, getting overwhelmed by our five senses, and almost not attending to the rest of our lives, right? There is that danger of getting really caught up in great meals and great naps and great sex. Who doesn't want to get caught up in those things, right? But unfortunately, there are other ways in order to be wealthy as well, right? In order to create from our sensory experience and not just allow those great aspects of life to become reasons why we're lazy, or why we're procrastinating, or why we're avoiding other things, right? Big deals. So when Venus moves into Taurus, the moon will be in Taurus as well, which is kind of exciting. And then the moon is going to trine Pluto, right? Just as Venus has just squared Pluto. So kind of creating that balance, right? Pulling from those transformative tendencies that we all have. So throughout this 3 weeks, 23 days perhaps, that Venus sits in Taurus, a few key things are going to happen, right? The Sun is going to conjunct Mercury in Aries, creating a very what you speak is what you get kind of day. right? And then things just kind of move, right? Because Mercury will also then move into Taurus. And then the sun close after that. So when Mercury moves into Taurus, right, what's going to happen is our communications are going to become more deliberate. So we only have a few days of this really kind of super deeply indulgent kind of energy until Mars and the sun roll through as well. And then we get that sense of our mind slows down to match our bodies, right? Our embodiment of this energy. Kind of almost becoming like plodding, right? In that sense of, well, I'm not going to speak too soon. Conversation will become less irrelevant, right? Needing to have a purpose, right? We're going to feel less inclined to enter into things like debate, you know, and Taurus is kind of a little bit more inclined to just be reticent to speak, right? We had Mercury in Aries, which is a little argumentative. Well, Taurus is just not going to speak if they don't have something relevant to say, right? But the capability for very persistent and focused communication is there, you know, which is kind of nice. And it adds to that Mercury and Aries impulsiveness in a conversation, right? Creating the ability to be in full analysis and give you a delivery that can be both gentle and calm. And let's face it, with Venus and Mercury and then the sun all in Taurus, this is all about influence, right? And persuasion. It's about compiling your useful facts. And then with the sun moving into Taurus, it's really about the embodiment of all of those things. You know, this is a time to be in one's own expansion. You know, we've talked about how we have the ability to really be in self-creation mode. And those things are 100% true. And this is that time when we're really going to be feeling into our own energy and our own expression and our own sense of the way we want to experience the world, right? Through our five senses. And the bottom line is that that is the way that we experience the world, right? We can think all we want. And as we move into Gemini season next, we'll understand those things. But the bottom line is right now, it's all about feeling it. It's all about what you feel and how you feel those things. And as this Taurus energy progresses with Venus in Taurus specifically, towards the end of April, you know, we get a couple of exciting aspects, right? Saturn squares Venus and Mercury and kind of Uranus, and that's going to really require that we have been working on our plans, right? Because Saturn is going to course correct us. And then we get the North Node trining Saturn. And then we get Pluto going retrograde on the 27th, right? So that's going to be a, whoa, okay. All of those transformational motions that we've been putting into effect, we're going to have the opportunity to revisit those. Take a breath. Is that really it? And then as Mercury moves into Gemini at the beginning of May, things are going to get interesting, right? We're going to have a lot of opportunity to then up-level our game in terms of communication, both self-communication and communication with others. So now is a time to really kind of explore that beautiful place of inspiration, of sensual comfort, right? And really dig in with, how do I want my life to feel? Right? And it's perfectly okay to want to be in that embodied state. In fact, it's preferable to be in that embodied state, mostly because our 3D experience is how we see and shape our entire world, is how we shape our existence, right? And so if we're able to really get with what our desires look like, and to be kind of led by the greater pull of that sense of beauty that feels like home and comfort in our bodies, then we will have done a lot of the work along the way in order to not have Gemini season be such a shock. So let's talk about these. All right, we've got Judgment and the Six of Swords. Judgment is a beautiful card of renewal, rebirth, re-beginning. So this particular deck labels this card as the Symphony of Change. Your passion must be expressed or you will feel confined. Well, that is definitely a way to consider renewal and rebirth, especially in this time of Venus and Taurus energy. And as we have the Six of Swords, that is all about transitioning from one state to the next, right? So in any ways that you have been holding yourself back, or that you've had the clutch pressed down, and you've not been in that experiencing mode, perhaps now contemplate that the time is right to shift and change that. And as we witness the Knight of Cups and Temperance, right, the Knight of Cups is about new ways, right, of experiencing love and sensuality. Cups is all about emotions and feeling, and Temperance is all about tempering oneself in order to purify and refine the experience, right? This is about mixing and remixing. So we witness both of these cups, this deep well of emotion and feeling energy, right? It's more than about great food, great sleeping, and great sex. It's about how do I feel in those things, right? Because, you know, this is about embodying the beauty of those experiences, of really digging into that sensual pleasure and finding where that comfort is. And guess what? Luxury is not always about things. Luxury can be as simple as the touch of someone's hand, or the breeze on your face, or the beautiful smell of a flower. Luxury does not have to mean, you know, you have a golden toilet. That's not what luxury means. Or that's not what the broadest definition of luxury needs to mean. You know, you can be wealthy and not have a lot in your bank account and feel wealthy because of how your life is constructed. So again, as we really look at what we value and why we value it and how we want to create more of it in our lives, you know, that cup of your soul is what you're looking at, really being the receptacle for all of these sensory experiences, or the inspirations behind them, the ways that they allow you to feel. So we have the King of Wands and the Ace of Swords. So the King of Wands is that full repertoire, right, of passion. The Ace of Swords, brand new ways. So you may come up with some brand new ways of experiencing that passion, those sensual experiences, right? You might come up with a brand new idea of how you want to put the juice in your life, a brand new idea of how you can create more wealth, more prosperity, more pleasure, more comfort. And, you know, as Mercury moves into Taurus as well, that Ace of Swords really can play a beautiful part in, you know, Sun in Taurus as well, of who you are within those ideas, those concepts, right? They are not just abstractions. If you are not feeling them, then they're just ideas and they're outside of you. And that's not really going to get you what you need, right? The Five of Wands and the Star. So the Five of Wands is kind of a card of contentiousness. It's a card of posturing and posing, right? No one is actually fighting or engaging, but everyone looks like they are, right? So again, this is that ideas, right? We're not looking for ideas. We're looking for action, right? We're looking for that beautiful star energy, which is about wish fulfillment. It's about hope and optimism and how we relate to the greater, to the broader, to the divine. What more of Venus energy could there be, really? I mean, in terms of how we are in relation to love, how we are in relation to beauty, how we are in relation to harmony. And every time the answer is how we experience it. And we don't experience it through our ideas. We experience it through our senses, right? We experience it through experiencing and exploration and discovery. We experience it as we eat the great meal, as we fall asleep for the great nap, as we orgasm in that great sex. That's how we experience these sensual pleasures, not in our brain, but in our body, right? You can't stand back and expect it to be amazing, because it's not. Keep breathing. So definitely keep breathing, right? Our breath brings us back to our sensory experience every single time. And whether that's a physical experience, whether that's Venus in Taurus, whether that's Mercury in Taurus, whether that's the Sun in Taurus, the more you come back to your breath, the more you are in control of how you are experiencing the robustness and the presence of your own of your own pleasure. So keep breathing, indeed, in fact. And then we have this stunning intimacy card. You may have been emotionally hurt in the past, and as a result, you are now reluctant to share your feelings with others because you fear being hurt again. It's understandable, right, that you place a protective shield around your heart. However, now it's time to drop the armor, because at present it is preventing a worthwhile relationship from forming. There is someone who dearly loves you, and the love this person has for you is real. However, he or she is afraid to reveal their true feelings for fear of rejection. Like you, they also fear being hurt. Trust and share your feelings and experiences openly and honestly. You'll be amazed at what unfolds. The most intimate relationships are usually formed through tears and laughter. So don't be afraid to express your feelings, fears, and vulnerabilities. The past is now behind you. Release it and embrace the new. So we talked about all of that, right? We talked about how your ideas need to transition so that you can experience in a new way. We talked about how your embodiment is the goal, your full ability and capacity to experience in this realm is the goal, right? We talked about how any kind of holding back because of your ideas is going to prevent you from being able to experience in real time, when all of that is the goal, right? Your wish fulfillment is the ultimate, is intimacy. So breathe into this experience as we start this season of Taurus energy with the goddess of experience, love, beauty, harmony, and sensuality herself moving into Taurus, right? Joining the moon, joining Uranus. Allow all of those shifts to come in. Allow your mind to slow down. Allow your body to catch up, right? Allow your focus and your sense of persuasion and acceptance of all the ways you feel in this life, right? We're not here to think about living. We're here to live. So I wish you success in that endeavor. Yeah, big blessings. This is a nuanced shift, and you'll feel it in your body more so than in the external world. So feel into this one. Really feel into this one. And feel what a blessing this season is going to be. Till next time.